Hello everyone, my name is Ron Heiler. If you know me at all, you may know me from my previous Let's Play videos I did Saints Row, let's see, Assassin's Creed Rogue I ran through. I'm currently running through Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm running through Skyrim. I'm doing a playthrough of Dungeons & Dragons Online. And Saints Row 2 are the current series I've got. I'm starting up this is going to be a 5th series, but this is not going to be a playthrough, guys. This is different. We're sitting right now in the Unity editor. This is Unity 4. The reason being I want to show you where we're at. We're going to work on a game that I am designing with help from some friends. I've been working on this for, I don't know, off and on, probably a year or so. And I'll show you where we're at, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the game. One thing that I want to stress, there's not going to be any spoilers. I'm never going to talk about the plot of the game during these videos. Or anything that happens story-wise. What we're here to do is really talk about the game systems and programming and design. Really, that's what I'm after. So, but before we do that, I wanted to show you where things were kind of at right now, and then where we're going to go in the future. So let's get this running. It takes Unity a minute to start this up, and there's a reason for that. Actually, it's having to do with all the lights. It's a thing I need to fix at some point. Okay. So this is actually running the game. You can see I've got an FPS counter up top in the top left. Sitting in around between 15 and 20 frames per second right now. That varies. It gets down to as low as 10, and it'll get as high as 60, or even higher actually if you're don't have too many lights going on at the given time. It's going to be low, that frame per second, for right now. There's a couple of optimization things that you do, but you can't really do it until after the level's completely built, which involve occlusion culling and also light baking. So everything right now is dynamic lights. Currently we have 15 active lights in the scene. We've got 38 distance checks going, so it's hitting our frame rate pretty hard. As those light numbers go down, you'll actually see the frames per second start to go up. In general, again, it depends. There's also it depends on how much geometry is being drawn. And again, occlusion culling will help with that, but we don't have any of that active at the moment. Okay. So first off, let's talk about I'm just gonna wander randomly. Actually, guys, to be honest, I totally get lost in my own dungeon that I designed. There's no map system built yet, so I really have a hard time finding where I want to go. So we'll just wander and see where I end up. Hopefully we don't just wander through miles of corridor. We'll actually hit some staged areas. This is this is the this is the Coliseum area. So we got some water effects going over here. Not the greatest. I mean, this is, I should tell you guys, this is really a prototype of the game. It's not finalized in any way. You couldn't even call it an alpha. It's like pre-alpha. So yeah. Okay, so the lights. Let's talk about the lights for a minute. You can see as I approach this torch up here, it flicks on. If I back off, it should shut off. It's not supposed to do that. At one point, I had those working, where the lights came on gradually as you approached them, and you could never tell that they were ever off. Somehow it's gotten broken again. I'm not quite sure what happened there. At some point, we changed some code, and they stopped working properly. So yeah. Anyway, this is one area of the dungeon. So the name of this game has not been finalized yet, actually. We're using a working title of Dungeon Crawl. That is not going to be the final name of the game. There's actually a game already called that, I've been informed. It's a roguelike game that somebody built, one of those pseudo-text games. And it was never meant to be the name of the game. It's just a working title. It's what we use to, set up the folder structure, basically, until we come up with something a little better. We have a few candidates for the name of this game, but so far we haven't finalized anything. Kind of a random room back here. So I want to talk about, so obviously the setting is medieval. This is I hesitate to call this a role-playing game. It kind of is, in a sense. But it's not really role-playing. When you think of role-playing games on a computer, what you're going to think of immediately is the Dungeons and Dragons style game, where you kill something and that gives you experience points, and then when you get enough experience points you level up, and when you level up you gain, you add something to your character, that kind of thing, right? I'm sure you guys are all familiar. We've made it back around to the Coliseum again. I can't seem to find any other place. I'm kind of hoping to find the barracks, guys, because that's where there's some interesting stuff. Anyway, that's not the style of this game, okay? We are going to completely toss that away. You do not get experience points for killing stuff, and you do not level up your character. You do not choose a class. None of that's going to happen. Let's see, I'm not quite sure where this goes. The walking downstairs isn't really finalized at all, by a long shot. None of that's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to do some kind of thing, okay, like a mission or a side activity or even just exploration. Let's see, where are we? I think we've made it back to where we started, actually, to be honest. Yeah, I think we have. Okay. Most of these rooms are not dressed, guys. That's why it's just kind of the blank walls. We're going to be dressing these rooms at some point. So yeah, you're going to do some kind of thing, and at the end of each thing that you do, you're going to get a reward. Now, I'll define what the things are, but the rewards are things like what is this? Let's go check out what this is. I'm not quite positive. Character improvements. You might get a new weapon at the end of a mission, a new armor. Okay, I know where we are. New clothing. You might get a collectible of some sort. That kind of deal. This is the force column room. That's that whole deal. Yeah, that force column is not done yet. It's sort of close to what I wanted, but I wanted to show a little bit more violent kind of pulling down action. We've got kind of the whirlpool going, but there's another layer that's going to go down there that's going to be straight down kind of deal. Sort of an energy straight down kind of pulling down that'll add on to that. That's what that's meant to be. I won't say what that is for because that's part of the plot, but yeah, that's that. So yeah, at the end of each thing that you do, there will be some sort of reward that you get, and that's how your character is going to improve. This is a system that's used in open world games quite a bit, like Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row, and that's the system we're going to use. Okay, it's a totally different system that's not often used in role-playing games, if ever. I can't think of any time I've ever seen it. I think we're close to the barracks here, guys. So yeah, it's a different system. Than what you may think of when you think of role-playing game. Okay. Ah, yes, good. I know where we are. This is where I kind of wanted to look at. So yeah, I talked about that. Perfect. This is what I wanted. We got a couple of things over here. This is some animation testing that I was doing. I'm not actually going to end up using these animations. Obviously, I'm not going to be using that character. The skeleton I might end up using because that's he's useful. The little woman in the sweatpants is obviously not appropriate for this game. And the animation's no good, as it turns out. Let's see. This is not this side. I think I won't. Okay. Obviously the animation's no good because you can see they're sinking into the floor. I actually had them started up higher, and they've actually dug themselves down. The animation's bad. And actually there's other reasons why I'm not using those animations, which I won't get into. Let's see, this should be it. Yeah. Let's see if I can get up here without setting this guy off. Probably not, come to think of it. Let me see if I can get around the back of him. I should have gone the other way. I should say, guys, that I have used... See, there's a seam there. I thought I fixed that seam. I've used a fair number of assets that I have bought off the Unity store, including all this architecture. But there's another seam right there. That's the kind of thing I do. I go around looking for seams. Yeah, but I bought a lot of this stuff because I'm not a very good artist myself. However, I do have the ability to modify, and that's what I've done here. I've taken the stuff that I bought and I've heavily modified it in a lot of places. I added a level of detail to all of this. I fixed a lot of seams where they weren't coming together properly. So these things are more like Legos. They fit together, and you never know where the seam is. At least that's the idea. Obviously, there's a few places left that I haven't gotten to yet, but yeah, I actually spend a lot of time modifying all this stuff. This is all quite changed from the original. The texture is the same, I think, more or less. Okay, these two skeletons, one of them has a trigger on him. When you get too close, it was a ragdoll test and also a physics test that we were doing. So if I get close to him, he actually ends up getting tossed down the stairs. So yeah, you can only do that once, and then that's it. So yeah, that was the physics and ragdoll test we did with that guy. Okay, so where are we gonna go from here? This is Unity 4 that we're currently in right now. which since we're in the editor, actually that's chewing up a lot of my frame rate as well. So actually, if you run the executable standalone file and stand in the same place, you'll actually get higher FPS than what I'm getting here. So that also helps as far as that goes. FPS is going to be a constant battle with us because we've got a lot more stuff to add. Obviously, we got to dress this room for one thing, so there's going to be more geometry drawn, which is going to cause a hit to our FPS. But then again, we're going to have occlusion culling, we're going to have baked lighting, we're not going to be running the editor, so that's going to cause it to go up. So it's a constant back and forth battle to get decent frame rates. Okay, so yeah, back to what I was saying. Now, like I said, I have bought a lot of assets off the Unity store, which it's good and it's bad. Okay, it's good in that it allows me to prototype the game fairly rapidly. It's taken me a long time to build all this stuff and to fix all the seams and in the models and things. But on the other hand, if I had tried to build this from scratch, it would have taken much longer, right? Well, along with that, I've also, in addition to animations and character models and monster models and geometry models and all that kind of stuff, there's a fair number of scripts that I've bought, which I'm fairly unhappy with, to be honest. I don't really like... What is going on there? That torch is backward. Okay. Oh, there you go, guys. There's a pre-alpha thing. It looks like, oh, this whole thing was moved. That's why. Yeah, that needs fixing. I'm not happy with the scripts. Okay. I have learned that other people's scripts just are not up to my particular coding standards. I consider myself to be a professional level C++ programmer. I do it, basically, that's how I make money, right? I'm a contract programmer. In C#, I've only come to C# in the last couple of years. I picked up C# kind of late. I actually like the language quite a bit. I held on to C++ as absolutely long as I possibly could, but at some point you really have to adjust with the technology. And so I started learning C++ or C#, and I like it. I wouldn't call myself an expert level programmer at C# at this point. Of course, I knew C++, and they have a lot of commonalities, so I had a leg up on the learning process for C# that people coming into brand new programming wouldn't necessarily know. But still, there are aspects to the language that surprise me sometimes. There's differences between C++ and C#, that sometimes come back to bite me because I just assumed that everything's the same as C++. But I know enough of it, I think, at this point, having programmed in C# for, like a couple of years, I guess, that I'm comfortable with my level of knowledge, and anything I don't know, I can figure out or look up. Also, the engine itself has a lot of routines that are custom to the engine, which obviously I've worked with Unity for a little while, the last year or so, maybe a little longer than that. So that's totally different from the programming language itself. So yeah, I know some of them I don't. I wouldn't consider myself an expert Unity programmer either. So anyway, what I'm saying here is, other people's scripts I don't like, but I feel like I have the ability to redo them and get them up to snuff with my programming standards, which are actually quite high. The way I want to do it, and the way it would work best for this game. Because of course, other people's scripts, they're going to be generalized for anybody to use, and there are ways that there are things in them that we don't need that we can take out that would improve performance and things like that. So yeah, we'll do that. What else did I want to say? I'm going to probably keep the models. I've worked hard on them. I'm going to redo the scripts on the lights because they're now broken. I don't know what happened there, honestly. I know I had that working at one point where it was working just fine, and you would never tell that the light was ever off as you came up to it, but whatever. We'll get them fixed. Okay, this is Unity 4. In the time that I've been working on this, Unity 5 has come out. This is Unity 4 Professional. I actually bought this engine. Unity 5 I don't have the professional version, I have the free version. They've changed their licensing model, and I just don't see any reason to buy Unity 5, at least not right now. I'll stick with the free version because it has everything I need in it, at least for the moment. I mean, if it turns out there's something I need in Unity 5 Pro that I don't have in Unity Free, then I certainly will buy it. I have no problem with that. But for right now, I don't see any reason to purchase Unity 5. I suppose when and if this game ever gets completed, we can port it over to Unity 5 Professional. I would certainly be open to that. The code as it runs right now, this game does not run in Unity 5. I tried it. I made a copy of the entire thing. I loaded it into Unity 5, and it gave me a whole bunch of script errors, which it was just another reason that I got really irritated with the scripts that I have. So yeah, what I'm going to do is basically probably keep the models. I might keep the levels. I'm going to trash all the scripts, and we're going to start over from basically scratch, other than the geometry of the game. As far as the bought assets go, this is always tricky, because, of course, when you buy models from other people, you're buying from various people, and those artistic styles are going to be different. And if you try to put together different people's artistic styles, it's never going to mesh in the game, right? Actually, this whole brick layout that we've got here wasn't really what I had in mind, but it was the best thing they had available in the store. And again, I am not a modeler. I am not very artistic. I can model a little bit. Forget trying to animate or anything like that. I'm a programmer and I'm a designer, but I can't work my worth a damn, to be honest. So I have to rely on other people to do my artwork for me. Here we have some natural caverns that I worked very hard to try to see. This is a perfect example. These natural caverns come from one artist. This whole brickwork thing comes from another artist, and trying to marry these together stylistically was very tricky. Now, it's not too bad. I mean, they're two different things. This is natural caverns, this is brick, so it's almost believable that they would be in the same world, right? There's not like one is a cartoon and one is photorealistic or anything like that. Actually spent a good deal of time making this kind of transitional piece between the brick world and the natural cavern world. You can see, where I've set it up, like they're building the dungeon as they're going, right? So anyway, we can check out down here. There's some temporary torches down here. I'm going to replace those with more naturalistic torches, just wooden torches. Oh yeah, this is the main cavern back here. There's meant to be a river right there. It's not finished. And of course we haven't really done any of this stuff. They've just got some stalagmites sitting here, ready to be staged. Anyway, There's another room back here. So yeah, we're gonna keep, I think, most of the layout because I'm fairly happy with it. But yeah, we're gonna completely redo all the scripts. That includes, unfortunately, this little guy that we've got. I kind of like the little guy. Let's see if I can. Is there any way for me to get a front view of him? I have to change the camera some. There we go. So there he is. As a style, that's not really what I'm after with this game, and also, you know, we're going for a customizable character, and so he doesn't have any of the hooks needed to be able to have a customizable character, so he's not going to be our final character. But I do like his animations for the most part. He's got a weird jump animation. He's got this weird thing going when you jump, which I don't like. But his walk animation is fine. You know, this whole running thing that he does, it's not bad. The side to side. What I may do is keep his animations, but try to marry them to a different model character. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, he's got a lot of scripts associated with him, and we really don't need those scripts, to be honest. Anyway, let's try to get back in front of him. There we go. Actually, is that where we were? Yeah, I guess that's where we were. So we're going to redo the character. We're going to redo the camera scripts. Oh, he's running. Let's not run, dude. Let's just walk. Uh-oh. Yeah, I just fell off the world. Alright. Let's stop that. There we go. If you guys want to see the entire level kind of laid out, this is almost spoilerish. I shouldn't probably be showing you this, but let's see if I can get a good top view of it. There. It's kind of the top view. What was I saying? I don't remember. Anyway, so that's an overview of where things are at right now. What I'm going to do in the next episode, guys, is we're going to I'm going to go over the systems that I want to that we're going to need, like all the scripting systems that we need for this game. Okay. Everything from the camera system to cutscenes to missions, maps, the saving and loading, all that kind of stuff. Everything that we need just from a very high level overview. And yeah, I won't go into a great deal of detail because there's a lot of them for the first one. What we'll do is I'll go over them, all the systems that I have in the design document. Just very, very basic list of them. And then as we do each one, we'll go into much more detail about how we'll design it, how we'll code it, what characteristics each system needs, what hooks they need, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's the plan for the next video in this series. All right, guys. So I hope that was interesting. It was I know, just kind of an overview of kind of where things are at and where we're going to go. We are going to go backward because we're going to we're dumping all the scripts that we have. But I think in the end that'll work out best. If the scripts are all built by me and I know exactly how they work and exactly how to modify them if it ever need be. Whereas now they're just a random collection of C# and JavaScripts and a bunch of junk that we don't need. So yeah, I think we can clean that all up. So yeah, all right. So I'll end this here and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.